So this next creative career is actually something that I've done in my life, and it is 3D design. So you could do 3D design for garments, fabrics, styles, whatever, or you could do 3D design for objects, which would be like mechanics. You could do the 3D design for a bottle cap or anything like that that's going to be mass produced. I did 3D design for apparel, which is helping the industry be a little bit more sustainable so that you could create a digital version of the product that you could show to a buyer or a customer, and they can decide if they want to make it, so that you actually don't waste the money making the sample and waste the time of making the sample. And you would know whether your buyer wants it in purple or whether they want it in blue, and you didn't waste any money, actually just the time that it took to make the 3D design. It also helps with finding out any mistakes or errors that you might come across when you're actually producing the garment in the long run. And on the other side of it, the other 3D section is there are people who do 3D design for shoes, jewelry, glasses, handbags, which I use 3D design to actually do my handbag patterns. And you could do so many creative things. And now with like this whole metaverse and NFTs, like the market is insane, and it's large and it's huge, and it's not going away. So personally, I'm obsessed with 3D design, and you should check it out. There's some programs. Blender is a free program that you can use, and you can create 3D objects in it. There's a program called Clo, where I'm not sponsored, a program called Clo, where I actually use it to design my handbags, and it's a cheaper product. There's another product called Browseware. That one is like $6K, which your girl is like, I ain't got no money. But yes, so there is a lot of really cool and interesting creative softwares out there. There's Maya, there's so many that you guys should try and check out, and just go on YouTube. You'll see so many videos about this subject that you're gonna be like, all of this information is already out here. Yes, there's free learning online for all of this stuff. It's amazing. Like, just check out some 3D stuff. Like, if you're interested in any video games, if you're interested in fashion, like, check out 3D stuff, because it's not going away, and it's coming even harder this next year. Sales, and you're like, what sales? We already know about that. No, this is the fashion side of sales, which is someone would be working with the designer, understanding what the product is, then they would actually meet with the buyer, and that person would be in-house, who would work for the fashion brand full-time, and they would go to, you know, meet with the buyer and explain to them the collection, actually show them the product, walk them through the fabrics, walk them through the cost of the garment, and all of those kind of things. They would also be tracking what's going on with the design team during the process in between giving them the, like, creating the actual product and giving the store the product. So they would still be an in-between person, but they work for the company. So you would be earning a salary. You also get a commission off of your sales. You'd get a certain amount of commission depending on what company you work for, but it pays. If you're a person who can be out and be in front of people and talkative and personable, this is a really good career for you, because you are selling, but you're selling in a more chill way, where you're not like, I need you to buy this. You're more like, oh, we have this product. Do you like this? Would you like us to change the neckline? Would you like us to adjust something here or there? And you kind of understand what their buyer's concerns are. You get to know them. You get to build up a relationship with them and be able to also communicate that back to the design team so that they can take that into designing the next season. So there you go. That is a salesperson who works in-house in a fashion company, or there are salespeople in other businesses as well, but yeah, that's what I know. So social media coordinator. And yes, you see so many people online talking about it, but there are social media coordinators who work in-house. So they work at the company, they earn a salary, they are daily employees that are there, and they work closely with the art directors, the designers, and they're able to put together a coordinated effort of how the social media is going to go out. They also might assist with email blast, which is like the email flyers that we all get. And they would also just communicate even some behind the scenes video. They might go to photo shoots and see if they could get some extra content for behind the scenes and be able to capture some of that. They might also reach out to different people, different influencers, and be able to contact them and say, hey, we would like to partner with you on a video, and those kind of things. That is also something that a social media coordinator could do. They could do it for a fashion brand, or they could do it for a marketing company or a PR company, and that is a game changer, especially in the times that we're living in. If you are not doing stuff online, if you're not in the social media game, like, are you asleep? Like, what's going on? So a social media coordinator is huge, because scheduling and making a calendar and coming up with a real campaign to make everything look concise is a full-time job. I know myself because I'm doing it for my brand N75. But anyway, I digress. This is a huge opportunity, and if you are interested in social media, which I know a lot of young people are, there is a job for you. It exists. You can do it. If you work corporate, there are going to be creative differences. You will not always be able to do what you want to do, but you'll be making good money. And that's what we're here for, right? Owning a 3D printing studio. And you're like, what the hell is that? So when you create a product in 3D, for example, this is a bottle cap, or this for your iPhone, there is someone who 3D prints this plastic if you needed it, and you could charge a good amount of money for printing it. 3D printers are somewhere around $160, $170, and then you can obviously go up in price. But there are people who have racks and racks of 3D printing machines, and they are 3D printing things for people. People submit their 3D designs, and they want to get them printed so that they can show them to a customer when they need to have a meeting, so that they could potentially get orders and buys and blah blah blah. And you could have people working in-house who are 3D modelers. They work for you, and you could charge a good amount of money, like a lot of money, thousands of dollars, to have someone make a 3D object for people. So if someone wanted to design some new headphones, you could have someone design the new headphone for them, 3D print it in your studio, send it to them, and send them the invoice. And it is going to be expensive, but that is something that is not a huge cost to start up. You just need a warehouse. You need to buy a certain amount of machines so that you can take on the clients. I would say, let's say 10. You need 10 machines. And then you would limit how many clients you take on, and you would know how long it takes to print that product. And you can schedule it all out and tell people when they're going to be expecting their 3D designs. This could even work for jewelry. This can work for, you can do bigger things. You could even do ceramics, pots. You could do all kinds of things if you wanted to do the ceramic side of 3D printing. So it's a huge market. It is growing, and there's so many people who do 3D modeling themselves, and they actually need a 3D printer. So there's different materials. You could do more rubbery materials. You could even do metals, like I said, ceramics. It's a huge open industry that's starting to change and shift, and now is the time to get in it. Web design. So typically what happens is a web designer would have a client or a customer who wants them to build out a site and to bring their idea to life. So they would typically sit down with the client and go over what visually they'd like to see. And then the web designer could also add in some ideas of what they would like to splice in to make the website a little bit better. What I mean by that is, if I click this button, then it turns this way, and then it opens up, and then now you have a whole new thing, and you're pulling in the customer into your site. So the graphic designer would help make sure that the layout is kind of what the customer wanted, but then they can add in more interesting things to make the site function. They would need to learn how to code, of course, but there are so many free courses on how to do it. There's amazing books on how to do it. I'll write a book down here that I actually use for it. And in a way, I mean, to me, I'm not a graphic designer, or I'm not a web designer, but I have done some of that a little bit for my own brand. And what I did realize when I was doing all of the research for it was that it kind of feels almost like punctuation. So when you're coding, it's kind of like, if I do this, then this happens. And what I mean by that is, like, if you have a sentence, you would say like but, and then you'd put comma, and then like da 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 da. Like, it kind of is like grammar in the weirdest way. But you might be interested in this career if you like art, you like creating stuff, you like a creative outlet, but you also like organization, and you also like, you know, creating fun little surprises within the website. So it's a very interesting creative career that mixes computers and also artistic style. So if that is something that sounds interesting to you, check out web design. And there are so many free sources on YouTube, so that is a great resource there. All right, guys, thanks.